So the last portion of the notes talks about the distance formula, and you're going to want to write this down somewhere on your paper. You'll usually be given this. On a test or quiz, you'll be given the distance formula before you are asked to find a distance, but you need to understand how to use it. So we're going to be given 2 points, 2 coordinate points. That means we're going to be given 2 x's and 2 y's. And you are going to plug in those x's and y's like this. You're going to take the second x, subtract the first x, and you're going to square. The result. Same thing over here. Subtract y1 from y2, square the result, add those together, and take the square root. That's because what you're really doing here. What the distance formula lets you do is when you have a coordinate plane and you have 2 points, and you want to find that distance, well, what you're going to do is you can kind of construct an imaginary right triangle. And by doing x2 minus x1, you're finding the length of this side. And by doing y2 minus y1, you're finding the length of this side. And if you find the lengths of the legs of a right triangle, then you can find the hypotenuse with Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared. So to find the distance between this point and this point, you've just got x minus 2, x2 minus x1, not x minus 2. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, and then you take the square root to find the length, or to find the distance between the 2 points. So that's why the distance formula works. That's why we plug it in like we do. And if you don't quite get this part, send me an email or come talk to me after school, and I'll go through it with you a little bit more. So we've been given 2 points. Let's use the distance formula to find the distance between those points. So we're going to plug in. We've got x2, x1, and uh-oh, I messed up. Crap. Hang on. Okay, I fixed it. So we want to make sure that our x's are together and our y's are together and that they're in the right order. So it doesn't really matter which coordinate pair ends up being the 2's or the 1's, as long as they're in the same spot in both places, because you can get a wrong answer if you put it the wrong way. Okay, so we've got x2 minus x1, y2, y1. Now remember, when we subtract a negative, we are subtracting a negative here, so that actually becomes plus a positive. So 6 minus 2 gives us 4. Negative 4 plus 8 gives us 4. So we have 4 squared plus 4 squared, which is 16 plus 16. So at the end, we're going to take the square root of 32. You're definitely going to want your calculator for distance formulas. You don't want to try to do this on your own. And what our calculator is going to give us is about 5.65. 2 decimal points is enough for me. So the second one we're going to do, but we're already there. Okay, the second one we're going to do, we got negative 5,2 and negative 610. Plug that in. x2, x1, y2, y1, all lined up well. Remember, originally that's minus negative, but now it's plus a positive. So we end up with negative 1 squared. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. 2 minus 2, 10 minus 2 is 8. So we've got negative 1 squared plus 8 squared. Negative 1 times negative 1 is just 1. 8 times 8 is 64. So we're going to take the square root of 65, which gives us just about 8.06. Okay. And for our last problem, we want to find the distance between R and S. Now on your paper, their line might not already be there, but go ahead and draw that line. We're going to find the distance between R and S. R and S. So we're going to have to just count. We're told that the units increase by 1, so we could just count 1, 2, and 1, 2 to find that R is -2 because we're going backwards from 0, +2 because we're going up, and S is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, both positive. So those are our points, and we're going to apply the distance formula here. So we've got x2, x1, y2, y1. So -2 minus 4 is going to end up being -6. 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. We have to square both of those. So it becomes +36 plus 1. And the square root of 37 is approximately 6.08. And that takes us to the end of our notes. Now you're going to do 2 pages of homework for 1-2. And that is going to be the page that says line segments and distance up at the top. You're going to do all problems on that page. And then on the next page, it says relationships between geometric figures. You're going to do all problems on that page. The first page has the algebraic stuff, the linear expressions. And the second page is mostly just doing the always, sometimes never, and identifying where things intersect and parallel planes, that kind of stuff. So if you have any problems, just send me an email or come by after school. All right. Have a great day.